What's up, everybody? Look who we got in studio today.
Ooh, big guest, everybody. Jimmy Carr and Bonnie Mcfarlane joining us. Check out the clips on our YouTube page, youtube.com/The Bonfire Radio.
I look so much bigger next to you.
We should have said Tom Cruise was on the show. For
ratings. Fuck yeah. Highway to Danger Zone.
A Magnum PI.
Man, I do love the Doors. But as I got older, as I told you, I lost the respect for his performance.
Why?
Because everything I thought was cool about Jim Morrison, not showing up for gigs and because he's doing drugs with this band and he would do this and pass out on stage and all those things that I thought were rock and roll and awesome. Now, as an adult performer, I'm like, what a jerk off.
Yeah.
Like, there's people waiting in the seats. Do the show.
Because
asshole.
you do a show at Lewis once a week?
Yeah, the Jim Morrison of our time. It's the Bonfire, everybody. We are LA bound. My headphones sound really tinny. We're in LA. We did
LA.
the LA studios. Big Jay Oakerson, the great Robert Kelly.
What's
Faction
up?
Talk, Sirius XM 103. We have a great guest sitting in. The whole crew's out here.
I mean,
when I said we have a great guest, Jacob just went, yeah.
Jacob.
He's so excited.
He was he not nonstop talking since we got in the studio.
We were here 20 minutes early, out of character, 20 minutes before the show in studio, and Jacob has been harping our guest.
Literally taking notes. He's
He's taking notes in his phone.
He has notes in his phone for things you can't get.
I can't get it.
You can't get it.
I aspire to get it.
You aspire to get it, but you could actually. Do you have any? Introduce our guest, everybody. The great, the hilarious Jimmy Carr is in studio.
Oh, well,
Fuck yeah.
I mean,
I can't believe your luck. Thank you very much for having me.
I mean, we are very lucky to have
Yeah.
you. I can't believe you said yeah.
Of course I said yeah. It's nice to see you guys. It's fantastic. I mean, I do think, listen, I've got nothing but deference. This man aspires to dress like a grown-up.
Can I
He
stop you
does.
real
Yeah.
quick?
But both of you dress like toddlers, but but I think it looks like your parents cared more.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, 100%.
Do you know Jay
Parent.
wears a wallet chain, but the chain doesn't go to his wallet? It's just there for looks.
Right,
A
like
wallet chain to nowhere.
like a Prince Albert.
Yeah. It's just there for, it's just decoration.
Famously, Prince Albert had to the Queen Victoria's husband, the original Prince Albert.
Yeah.
because he had such
Penis
a huge,
piercing.
a huge penis, and God, the bane of my life. Had to strap it to his leg when horse riding.
Well, Jay has that. That's his ascot. That's his accoutrement. It's his chain to nowhere.
My chain wallet. It's how people know I'm fancy. You hear me coming like a ghost.
Yeah, or like a pit bull.
But Jacob is, despite what you'd think by his multiple layers of models like clothing, Jacob.
He looks like three different versions of dads.
Yeah.
Like a dad who got divorced, a dad who's happily married, and somebody who doesn't have a wife.
I would
yet.
say he's a man for all seasons, and he's wearing all of the clothes for all,
All
of the
of them.
seasons
It's
at
nuts.
the same time.
He's got on his summer shirt, his autumn hoodie, and his light spring
coat.
jacket, and then
Yeah.
he's got another coat for sure. And he's freezing out here in LA too. He's also freezing. But Jacob has we all are guilty of having our YouTube kind of go-to things. Mine is true crime type stuff, pedophile hunts of the like.
Yeah.
Bobby does a lot of bushcraft, which Jacob does also.
Bushcraft is a great term for pornography.
It really should be.
Yeah, it's a,
I do. I watch a lot of bushcraft online. Do you mean 70s porn? Yes, I do. Yes.
I thought bushcraft, before they explained to me what it was, I go, oh, is that like the art of like shaving shapes into pubes or something, like the crafting of bush? But it's not.
It's not.
That feels like a very good coffee table.
Oh, that'd be a great coffee. Fancy bushes.
Yeah. Topiary, that's what it's called, right?
Topiary.
Topiary. And then there's a Brazilian because, like the Brazilian rainforest, there's very little left.
Yeah, it's very. Yeah, they shave it all the way down in Brazil.
was
And
a
most
great
beautiful
joke.
pubes too. And yet, so Jacob.
Hairy legs, by the way. Brazilian girls don't shave their legs; they shave their vaginas.
Well, in fairness, you only interacted with the prostitutes.
That's true. You have a good point.
They don't shave their legs. They just shave
They
their.
bleach.
So it looks like a bin file.
Yeah, they bleach their legs. They bleach the leg hair. They like the leg hair, but not like I was on the beach and it was a bunch of girls bleaching each other's leg hair.
But bleaching leg hair.
I
on
don't
dark
think
skin
there's
sounds-
any easy way to tell you this, but it sounds like you fucked a dude.
No. Oh,
It's like, yeah, and they have like their clitoris is like an outie.
yeah.
It's like a pointy outie. and when they come, it can like hit you in the face.
And
It's like
she could only come if she put her giant clit in my butt, which was weird.
yeah, but weird. But it's a different culture. It's different down there. It's
When in
super
Brazil,
hairy.
yeah, when in Brazil, what are you gonna do? Dude, that is the funniest thing about like the one time I ever shaved my above the dick hair. It's the idea that like it's the only thing that's shaved. You can't have hairy legs and a completely bald, like whole underwear area. Looks bizarre.
Yeah, you have to fade the legs.
Yeah.
You have to fade the leg hair.
like a monk in the Middle Ages, just with the bald thing
Yeah,
on
just
the
a
top.
patch,
Yeah.
a yarmulke of dick hair. Jacob, his YouTube hole he goes into is I can only call it gentlemanly behavior. He likes watching guys that tell him the best shaving like brush for the shaving cream, like a
Yeah.
shaving cream brush. What's the guy's name?
GFO Trumper is where you want to go for one of those.
Kirby Allison.
If you're interested.
Do you know who Kirby Allison is?
No, he doesn't.
Kirby Allison.
You gotta understand, Jimmy is above Kirby
Right, Kirby Allison's talking to you guys.
to
Yeah,
us.
Exactly.
Jimmy would laugh at. I bet his decisions that Kirby Allison makes, he'd be like, "That's cheap shit.
Yeah.
It's bullshit."
Well, he
Who is this? A YouTuber that tells you what?
he exposes me to the how to dress like classic menswear.
Stop getting nervous, Jacob.
Classic.
He's
I don't
right
know how
here.
to talk in front of Jimmy. 'Cause
You're
he's
trying to muster up a big
he
word.
looks exactly where I aspire to get to.
Is he telling people to buy brogues? How ghastly!
Is that bad? Is that,
It wouldn't be for me. But you know, I'm sure he's doing great.
Jacob aspires to one day get to this guy's shoes.
Yeah, nice.
I've never liked By the way, I don't like seeing it. Yet I would do all those things, like posing my backdrop with Louis Vuitton things and fancy single barrel malt liquors and shit. Not malt liquor, single malt.
what are you, San Fran
whiskey.
son?
Yeah.
Malt liquor's a different
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, that's a different thing.
That is more what I would
Malt
have.
liquor,
Just like Colt 45s behind me.
Yeah. Now you because you are a gentleman, you live in a castle.
Well, no, I don't live in a castle. But I mean, I suppose it's that thing as well. I'm very aware of how I'm perceived, but also who I am. I'm like an Irish immigrant to the UK.
Right.
And then I kind of got educated beyond my intellect. So I sound quite fancy, but not really. I'm from Limerick in Ireland. Well, the family's all from Limerick in Ireland. I can't believe look who's here.
Bonnie Mcfarlane just stepped in.
Somebody's been tanning their ass off out here in L.A.
What are you, caddying for Voss?
Everybody, she's going to be hosting Would You Bang Him tomorrow. That's Tuesday, May 7th for the Netflix is a Joke Festival.
Would you bang him? And we all know your husbands. I mean, the bar is low.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not about him, thank God, because that's a no across the board. But no, it's.
Explain to them what the show is. It's.
We came up with this show on this show.
Yeah.
Do you know that? Because I was like, oh, there should be a show where we should, judge comics.
It is. It's sometimes crushing when it happens. I thought I went. If you do a good job on this, explain the show. I'm sorry.
Okay, so there's 3 female comedian judges and 1 gay guy judge.
That sounds fun.
comedian, and then. Guys, you wouldn't do it.
Of course I wouldn't do it.
Bobby, you're the only comic that we ever asked that said no.
Because I don't want to go up in front of 3 female feminist comedians and a gay guy, and I'm some alpha douche from Boston. It's just not. I have enough on my plate.
You do your comedy set, Jimmy, and then the girls,
Say whether they would bang
The
you or not.
women.
the broads. He goes, and then those 3
Yes.
dingy broads start laying their bullshit on me.
Yeah, the bitches chime in, and then the queer gets in there.
They see. They
But
honestly.
is there a judgment before you perform your set and afterwards?
Well, the idea is is a sense of humor really what a woman wants?
Oh yes, I mean, if you come and see me live, there's actually a health and safety warning because women are slipping off their seats.
Right. Right. But
It's
it might.
honestly,
But it
it's
might
dangerous.
just be because of your manly physique.
Oh, what? Look who's
That's-
talking. You've
A
sort
lot
of
of
come.
people do mistake.
I think I'm mistaking you today for Tom Cruise. You seem to have come dressed as Tom Cruise in Top Gun.
Nice bomber jacket.
That is Bonnie's look is like stars from the 80s.
By the
male
way,
stars.
my God.
between Bonnie and Jimmy, they are both the alternate looks that Jacob wishes he could pull off on a daily basis. Jacob would love to look like a helicopter pilot instructor
On the
and
weekend.
on the weekends, and then during the day, a nice, fine English gentleman.
Yeah, you love
Irish
Steve
gentleman.
McQueen and a Guy Ritchie movie. That's what you like.
Steve McQueen is. I mean, it's that thing. Did you read that Quentin Tarantino book that came out last year? Cinema Speculation.
He just asked us when we
When
read
you said,
books.
when you said, did you
As
read
soon
that
as we
book?
got to book.
I
Okay.
should have just been like, no, but I'd love to hear.
Okay,
about
so
it.
Quentin Tarantino writes this book, and it's just about the movies he loves from the 70s. And I read it, and I went, why am I watching new films? There's a weird thing that we all do of like watching new films, right? You watch new films and you listen to old music. That's what most people tend to do.
Sure.
And I've reversed it. I'm just watching old movies and listening to new music.
Is it ones
it's
that
working
you've
for me?
Is it ones that you've never? It's keeping you hip, right?
Well, it's a lot of the things, a lot of the ones I think I've seen, and then I haven't. And like I would have sworn blind if anyone had asked me, "Have you seen Steve McQueen in The Getaway?" I would have gone, "Yeah, have you seen Bullet?" "Yeah, no, I've definitely seen it." I maybe 30 years ago, but I couldn't remember any of it.
That's the thing that happens to me is I rewatch them and I'm trying to remember as I'm going along. Like, do I remember this scene? What happens next? And then I never remember.
It's
any
kind of a
it.
nice thing as well to watch a movie if you have seen it before, because you can sort of enjoy it on a different level. It's just you sort of because it's most people go to music for. It's like dopamine, serotonin. What are you getting from the thing? Like, so you go for the new movie, for the new story. But the stories are all the same anyway. All movies now seem to be children's films. They've got goodies and baddies. There's no nuance.
Something about music, and Christine will tell you this about me. I don't want to. I have to find it all myself. If someone goes, "You haven't heard so and so, you'll love this band," and they'll go, "Watch, put this one song on by them," and I'm just like.
I know. I feel
It's like
too.
I now have to get through this 4 minutes, especially if it's some music where it's like an 8-minute song. But I love showing other people music.
Oh, we know.
I've got the same thing with movies.
Yeah.
If someone you have to see this TV show, you have to see this movie. It's honestly 3 points down before we even begin.
Yeah. 'cause you're
Whereas
like,
if you
"Oh."
discover it somehow, it seems more. It's why I think like comedy's having such a boom, because it's a world. If you go to the Comedy Store or the Cellar, I don't know, 5 nights in a month, you have a pretty good take on what's going on. Like and you see new people, and then that's your guy forever. Anyone that you saw early on when they were doing 20 minutes.
But what that tends to do is sort of the same thing that I heard. I think it was when Green Day was on Howard Stern. They were saying when they first popped and got popular, Green Day, that a lot of their original fans started turning immediately because people are like, you were my thing. Now you've gone like, it's like the idea is
right.
you tell, but those fans are the ones they said that like got them to that popularity level because they kept telling everybody else this band, and then they get huge and they're like, they're not our band anymore. And they just turn. I think comedy. Some people start to have that too. There's like people who like they love comics and then they get to that like arena level. They can't wait to start chopping them.
I was just gonna throw a joke in. I fucked up. Sorry.
Why?
I don't know. I was trying to muscle a joke in the middle of your story. Haba, 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 haba.
But is that,
Like an asshole I am.
It's kind of a weird thing where you find stuff and the stuff that you love as well. Like sharing it now is kind of so much easier. It's like discovering a great movie is it's hard now because they're not making many movies.
Well, Baby Reindeer, I knew nothing about when I went to
What
watch
do you mean
it.
you knew nothing
Really?
about? You're married to a comedian you stalked.
Well, he did.
You knew nothing about it.
I didn't know
You
that
thought
was
you'd
what
escape
I
me.
was being interviewed for. Was this show? No, I didn't know,
She's
and
the
I
first
didn't know.
stalker that fucked up.
I mean, I take exception to that. You think I stalked Rich? Like, come on.
Who married
like-
their stalker? A couple of people have married their stalker. I believe Gary Newman married a woman that was obsessed. An obsessive fan, was the head of the fan club, and eventually he just married her. I think he just saved on admin.
I feel like it's always going to be a guy marrying his stalker, though. I think it's rare that like.
Well, I did marry my stalker. You're
That's
right,
fair.
but I feel like you were making me the stalker in this situation.
this time.
You know the glasses are making it. We all suspect you have two black eyes.
They're teeny tiny, though. I don't know if you've seen.
Yeah, but
Rich's
Rich doesn't hear.
hands.
She hits herself for marrying him.
That's what I realized why he started wearing all those rings, because I wasn't scared of him. Now I watch my mouth.
He wears so many rings.
I just assumed he worked in a pawn shop during the day.
I always ask him, like, what do you think people see when they see you? You know what I mean? Like, what are you thinking this is showing people?
Why
He looks like he belongs at a track.
OTB, little
Yeah.
OTB.
Have you ever asked him not to wear them? Was there a point where you're like, can you not do this?
No.
You just let him go.
What am I going to do? It's Rich Voss. He's insane, But I did figure something out. I think he's always subconsciously trying to let people know he's white trash. Like, we were outside of our house and this delivery guy came up and Rich was like, hey, can you just, for next week, put our deliveries by the side of the house, by the garage so that, because we're going to be out or whatever. And the guy goes, yeah, no problem. I can do it all the time. He goes, I mean, this neighborhood is a lot nicer than the one I grew up in, but still. And I was like, why are you trying to bond with the delivery driver?
Because he loves small talk.
I think he wants that guy to know, like, this is a nice house, but, I didn't always live like this. I
was just like you.
Yes, yes.
I miss him. I'm assuming he's dead the way we're talking about him.
No.
Feels like we're all telling kind of quite reverential stories.
This guy
It
he's
feels
a good guy,
like,
though. He's a good
what
guy.
a way for Bonnie to find out.
He
didn't make it.
We didn't invite him on the show.
He's golfing. He's golfing.
With who? Is he schmoozing?
He's like in a...
What,
Is
like
he laying the schmooze?
Like a full-size golf course or like a little pitch and putt thing? 'Cause
Yeah.
He takes full stroke drives at a mini golf place.
How was your game? Yeah, I got it through the windmill. Right.
Voss uses his comedy, though, as like a monetary value to get on courses.
Oh, yeah. No, I think he loves that more than doing the stand-up.
Yeah, like I was
calling them and getting free golf.
He calls up the club and says, "Hey, I need a tee time." And even if they're full, like he was in Boston, they were like, "We're full." He's like, "What I don't know who you're talking about. I'm a comic. I'm doing shows at Laugh Boston." He's like, "We're still full."
I know.
And he just kept going. He goes, "I can get you tickets." And the guy's like, "Look, unless you're Shane Gillis, I'm not."
No, that really happened?
I know. Yeah, it really
Oh,
happened.
damn.
The guy was like, "Unless you're Shane Gillis," and Voss like, "You motherfucker."
I think it's funny that Voss and Aaron Berg are such two silly, fun guys, and they are wrapped into the Gaza Israel thing.
Oh, God.
So out of nowhere,
I
it'll just be-
muted him.
Out of nowhere,
you muted your husband.
but it's funny because
Yeah.
Voss will just make a funny thing, and then the next post is just a picture of like a muscular lion with like a Jewish star on his chest. Like, what the fuck is this? I've never gotten political on. Well, I don't really have anything. I'm like, go Israel. And if it's the first time a comment would be like, Israel's doing terrible things, I'm like, fuck that Israel. I'm just going to delete it all and get out of here. I don't care.
I try to feel out what they're going to say, and then I just kind of agree with whatever stance they're taking. That's how I deal with all...
With Berg and Voss?
Just anyone. All political conversations. I just try to ferret out what they're going to, what side they're on, and just agree with that.
I feel like we're 2 sentences away from a cancellation here.
I agree with you.
Let's move this on.
Fair enough. Go Palestine and go Israel. We love everybody here.
You were at the roast
roast,
last
yeah.
night.
Yeah, I went to the roast. Well, obviously the roast was really fun for me because it's Tom Brady, who for me is just a guy. Could not care less because like all of the things that make him special to America, like he's an incredible quarter pounder or something.
Quarterback. It's a quarterback.
Yes, but you get my point. Who cares? It's not a real sport. So, well, like, for me, it isn't. I just don't understand it. So I'm not in that world. So all of the football jokes, I was having to kind of reverse engineer in my head. Oh, that must mean that he's a linebacker, must be a tight end. I was trying to work out the joke maths of it at the same time.
It all came down to he's gay. I mean, every single joke was.
Well, there's a lot of
He's
gay.
gay.
He's gay. The girl left him for the jiu-jitsu guy, but the there was a couple of good. But how was that moment? How did that read in the room when Jeff Ross made the massage parlor joke? So did that make sense to you at all?
Yeah.
As not knowing the story.
I didn't know the story, but I put it together that there was a scandal where he was paying someone for massages.
It was a sex. He was just not. It wasn't even that. He was going to the massage
Parlor.
whorehouse places,
Right.
and they kind of called him on that. And Jeff Ross.
And
made
this is
the joke.
is it Kraft?
The owner
Bob
of
Kraft,
the
yeah.
owner of the Patriots.
And
What
is he Kraft cheese?
Yes.
Is he?
Yeah.
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 Why did no one
I believe
make it?
so.
Why did no one make a Kraft
Well, I think
cheese?
because Jeff went first and made that joke, and Tom Brady. Did you see this at all?
Yeah, but I didn't know what was going on. I didn't understand
What
it.
did Tom Brady
So
say?
he made the joke. Jeff Ross about. He goes, Tom Brady came into. That's great.
Is that Rich?
That's your husband.
Oh, God.
It's a shredded lion with a
Oh, my
star of David on
God.
its chest.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I love that.
But did he wrote something though? He wrote something crazy, right?
And then Lewis wrote underneath, "This is cringe." So yeah, Jeff made the joke about Tom Brady came into Robert Kraft's office, the owner of the team, when he drafted him, and said, "This is the best decision you've ever made was drafting me." And then he said, "Do you want to go get a massage, or do you want a massage?" And it was pretty vague. I don't even think a lot of people did get it in the room necessarily. and then the microphone, like the live microphone for Jeff Ross was on, and Tom Brady came in his ear, but you could hear him go, "Don't say that shit again." It's very awkward. Were you not there? Did you not see that?
No, I saw that. But the other thing that I couldn't work out. Don't say that shit again. Yeah, that seems. I don't know. It's very respectful of Tom Brady. I guess he's an old guy and he wants to. I don't know. He's probably had a conversation beforehand where he went, "That's anything about me
is fine. Leave out."
But he's probably said anything about me is fine. Do not mention my kids. There's probably a couple of parameters where he went nothing about that.
You're right, because someone noticed that no one said anything about him. Of
course,
we had the thing about him kissing his son.
Yeah, they didn't bring that up.
And no one said anything about that.
But I think that's like it's a pretty good sport for doing it. I couldn't figure out the Kim Kardashian thing because Kim Kardashian got up and I was going, "Oh, it's Kim Kardashian. This is a huge deal."
Yeah, wow.
Oh, that's exciting. And then booed in the room.
Rain of
and
booed.
A couple other people kind of got booed, like football-y guys. I
guess.
But
that felt more
right.
like okay, I'm a big, you're a patriot and I'm a, I don't know, whatever they call
right, but
that wasn't booing. You're wrong about that. That was I thought it was too at first.
Drew.
They're saying Drew.
For
Drew Bledsoe.
Drew.
Because I was going to say that there was no one to stop it once it started. Like, it just gained momentum. Like, somebody booed and then everybody was like, why not?
What's the Kardashian thing? Because I thought she did. I think she was really funny. I thought she did a great job.
She was funny. She did good.
She was all right. She was all right. She
but
wasn't really funny.
No, but
really funny.
No, but considering
considering she's a bimbo that took it in the butt on film, and that's how she made her millions.
She did not take it in the butt.
Well, whatever.
That's not what happened.
Well, she got fucked on film, and that's why she's famous.
Yes,
that's why people were booing because
she sashayed up
you
there
said that.
like she
you
was.
said that with a tone like that was a bad thing.
This is the thing. This is the thing that she did so well was that she got booed by the fucking forum and then just was like,
just kept going.
She just kind of rolled her eyes like, okay, I got it, and then just did her thing. It's like, well, that's pretty good.
Why was she booed?
Just because I think it's just like
nobody likes her because she's a fucking multi-millionaire for nothing.
But here's everyone that was booing if they saw her outside, and if she she said something to them would be like, they would panic.
I think it's that. I think it was the big football crowd. She's sort of almost an icon for Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's almost like they're sort of booing the concept of Hollywood.
Of who she is. Yeah, because like I said, the famous for nothing kind of idea.
But the famous for nothing. I mean, she's very much the American royalty.
Yeah,
I'm not quite sure what our royalty does, but I like them and they're figureheads, and you have the Kardashians.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
No one quite understands it. Christine, aside from being Armenian, has no connection and loves just watching their lives interest her somehow. I don't understand it, but there's plenty of shit I watch.
But is that not the thing with reality TV generally? The whole concept is we're supposed to live in villages where we know each other's business, and actually people watch these things because you can then have a conversation with anyone about the Kardashians. Yeah. So if you're watching the show, if you're watching Survivor or Big Brother or whatever it is, you end up going, "Oh my God, this guy."
But when you get
isn't that what sports is?
But I watch exclusively. Also? I watch exclusively reality though. That's people. I watch like Cops and that kind of stuff, like the show Cops or.
But you have no one to talk to about it.
Love after. You're right, but Love After Lockup.
I feel like that feels like that's preparation for you. It feels like at some stage you're going to get tasered. You want to know how to take it.
I've thought, what
are my chances?
Yeah, I'm like, well, that guy did okay after he got tasered. The guy still kept fighting after a taser. I'll be fine. No, I watch all that. For some reason, the reality TV, I never want to watch like. $1 million this or any of those shows that show you like how great it can be. I like watching. I try to get happiness in my own life by going like, well, at least I'm not living in this trailer park with somebody who just got out of jail that I was writing to for 7 months or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I just try to watch the worst and laugh at that, and then go, I'm doing all right. Yeah. It makes me feel better.
But the
Kardashians don't make me feel better.
You mixed that's a mainly football fans of Brady in the crowd, and you put something that just they hate is that rich for nothing Hollywood bullshit. That's why they were booing her.
Well, I suppose who made that point about Hollywood versus sports? Like the reason sports are so popular now is because there's kind of no bullshit. It's who's the fastest, right? Who's the best? Who's the strongest? Whatever that thing is. The MMA, I suppose, is the guy was there, Dana.
Yeah, he was great.
But the idea that you go, it's just there's no bullshit here. There's just people doing what they're doing. They know what the rules are. We know what it is.
Whose joke is that?
Sam Jay killed. Tony Hinchcliffe killed. Nikki Glaser did great.
Killed. Yeah.
I thought it was a real edgy roast too. I mean, they didn't hold anything back.
I was kind of surprised by that. I was surprised with all these athletes. I know they don't have conduct codes anymore because they're out of the league. All of them are retired players. but it is weird that they're going so hard, and you're like, man, I still feel like they're heroes to kids in
Yes,
some way, and something
right,
about watching them
right.
like, I'm gonna suck the cum out of Tom Brady's dick and then spit it on Bill Belichick's fucking asshole, and then we're like, like if you're like a 15, not even, I think that's too old, but like a 10-year-old kid who like still loves Tom Brady, watching that, I'd be like, holy shit.
Yeah, we've come a long way from Janet Jackson having a boob out at the the Super Bowl.
Well, we've talked about this a lot. That switched to me, and did that happen with Raina at all? Your daughter, that like a celebrity that was a kid became like provocative sexual. For my daughter, it was Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus. Loved hers on the Disney Channel and watched the show and went to the concerts. And then one year, she just showed up on the MTV Awards in like a one-piece thing, and she was like punching herself in like the twat with like a big foam finger, and like it just got. Then she's naked on a bunch of things, Miley Cyrus, and that was like a weird like transit. Do you have anybody like that where it's
well,
like
I guess
the
Ariana
switch is so
Grande,
crazy?
but she's like appropriate. She's not.
She's not really
gross at all.
inappropriate. Yeah.
My kid was the kid from Mr. Beast that transitioned to a woman.
Who's that?
On Mr. Beast, you don't know about that?
The guy who like
he just
does
became
charity work.
It was on Mr. Beast. They have like a crew of guys, and they're all like dudes, and
Really? I
yeah.
didn't
And
know
then one of them just one year became a woman, and he's still on the show. He's just a chick now. Long hair, dresses like a woman, lipstick, and he's
Very much
just,
like our Bonnie.
this. If I can do it, anyone can.
Our Bonnie.
I always think that, like, I mean, even like Caitlyn Jenner, it's like, why do I look like this? You know what I mean? It's obvious that it's more is possible for me. You know, like, what am I doing wrong here?
You want to get a Jenner face? I think.
I
I'm gonna
mean,
ask
she
now. I'm gonna
looks
see
pretty
Nick-
good. She just got something else
I
done.
want to find out
and
what
it looks
Nikki
good.
Glazer got done. Something got done.
she got a lot done.
Something was done.
Yeah, her mouth looked like a piano keys.
She got something done. I don't know if it was just teeth.
She got.
She looked
teeth.
great.
She looked well. All right.
It just didn't look like her. I thought she just looked different.
Yeah, she got. I think she got her eye. She looked like she was, like her eyes were pulled back or something. Yeah,
She got her eyes pulled back. Not a lot of people are doing that, but
Getting her eyes pulled back?
she's
her nose is done too. She got her nose done.
Well, what's the-
experimental.
what's the
She
thing-
did? No.
Yes.
Apparently, the new thing that's happening with plastic surgery, it used to be you'd go and see your plastic surgeon in Hollywood, and you take in a picture of the celebrity that you like, and you say, well, I want Tom Cruise's nose, or I want to look like Kim Kardashian. Now people take in photos of themselves, but they've auto-tuned their face.
Right.
And they go, I want to look like I'm meant to look on social media, but in real life.
Look at my filter face. Yeah, can you give me
Yeah.
filter face?
But basically, they're filtering. So plastic surgeons now have to try and do a filter. It's kind of crazy.
Is there any, if you look up Nikki Glazer
Oh, Nikki looked great.
plastic
Yeah,
surgery?
she looked great. She looked great. She murdered. I mean,
She looked great. No,
She
nothing is like
was
she
so
looked great.
funny.
She just looks like, I just known her for years and she looked, but it might have been heavy makeup also.
I think
But
it
also,
was
like, her
I think it was
hair
makeup.
has got extensions
It's also
in
that
it.
thing
It's
of like the makeup on that show because you're out there
It's
on
rich.
the dais.
I'm sorry.
Is that rich?
Sorry, you've got to.
Rich, I'm on the bonfire, so you're. Oh, damn.
Wow,
Damn.
well, I can see why you fell for that sweet talk.
He's like, Bonnie, I just got
God
another.
damn.
He's like, Bonnie, guess what? I just got another click on my Jewish lion post. He goes, it was us, idiot. Bonnie, great news. The lion post is back in the algorithm.
He doesn't tell me anything. He used to come in, and I know he'd stand like this, and oh God, he's going to talk about Israel now, and I'm going to have to. I would say, I'll give you 10 minutes a day.
You gave him his own room in the house to decorate, and he came on the bonfire bragging about
Yes.
showing us this room. It looks like it smells like my old great grandmother's apartment before she died.
He's decorated our sitting room or whatever you call it, and I think he's made his own
Funeral
Coffin?
home.
funeral parlor.
It's a funeral home.
It's like he wants open casket in there. I guess I don't know. That's what it looks like to me.
And it's
but
what you give people the second they walk through your door. That's right through the front door.
I wish I was the kind of person that could just be like, hey, this is our house, whatever. But every person that walks in, I'm like, he did that.
Why did he get it? When did he get into 17th century art?
He's always.
When he was a boy?
I don't know. There's something so weird about. He's just insane.
Like
I
the
can't
paintings
even
of
say.
sad women in corsets, like
It's
that kind
all
with the gold frames.
Like
It's-
17th century, I guess, or
It's
18th
all
century.
it's all Italian 17th century art that he's into that he thinks someday he's gonna hand it down to his kids. But
Oh,
one of the paintings he has.
It turns out it is worth a lot
One of these
money.
paintings, because we had the guy from The Sopranos, the guy with the ponytail who worked for
Furio.
on I don't know whatever version of Opie and Anthony it was when I was on it, and he's a big 17th century art guy. And he showed him one of his paint, and we were like, "Dude, you're a fucking idiot. None of this is going to be worth." But one of them was actually
Yes.
worth a lot of money.
Well, what was the thing in The Sopranos where the guy got the painting of his boss as Napoleon? It sounds like that kind of madness. Is he in all of these paintings?
In his
No,
heart.
it's all women. It's all. They're almost all
Are
women.
they Rubenesque?
No, they're in those very pretty.
The puffy dresses.
The bustier dresses
Yeah.
with
The
the
corsets,
wide,
the whole
yes.
thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, landscape.
Like women in waiting, I guess, or
it's
whatever
like
you
Little
call it.
Women.
I don't know. Yeah.
My ex mother-in-law had what you were just saying. She liked that artist. I forget the name now. I feel like an ass, but it's a Hispanic artist or Spanish artist, I believe. And all the people are just circles, like big fat people. It's one of those things where she spends so much money on these paintings, and you're like, these aren't good paintings.
Yeah.
Like I think
It sounds good.
art is defined by like talent. I don't just take that like slapping shit on a thing. Not that it doesn't look good. Sometimes it looks cool, but that is a happy accident for sure. Like when someone says they're an artist and they couldn't draw like someone's face very
Right.
well or something, like you're not an artist. To me, you have to have the
it has
skill.
to look like
Well,
something.
it's a weird thing though, isn't it? Where it's like the artisan kind of thing of like the craftsmanship is often, I think, as comics, we love the craftsmanship because that's kind of what jokes are. You work on it, and then you have something that's like it's a craftsman. Sometimes that thing of like art, I don't think there's been any progress really since sort of Duchamp in the 1920s.
Yeah,
The upside down urinal thing.
We're both like, yeah. Duchamp. Yeah, we know exactly what the fuck
But
you're
that
talking
thing of
about,
like
Jimmy.
sometimes when you
the last
see,
time.
sometimes when you see like a piece
yeah,
of modern
there is.
art and it really makes you stop and think. I think that's the purpose of it, right?
Sure.
If you go and see one of the Damien Hirst like sharks or whatever.
Yeah, but now you can just go in AI and have an artist.
But I do. Listen, I've walked by. I was in San Diego a couple weeks ago, and I went into like an art gallery. It was beautiful, like crazy. Like not that I don't like art at all. I really love it, but I do take issue when someone just like, this is so and so's new art series of dots, and it's just
Right.
like polka. There's like different colors of polka dots. Like, come on. That's
But
not
I
a
think
thing.
that's amazing that like
That's
that they can make somebody feel with that.
Did you ever
this
see
weird-
the Exit Through the Gift Shop, the documentary,
Yes,
the Banksy
yes,
documentary?
yes.
I went to see the Banksy exhibit because I used to work when I sort of first started in comedy. It was around the area where Banksy was working.
Oh,
So
okay.
he works with quite a lot of comics. He
Really?
works with a couple of guys that I know, like on things or coming up with when they did the last exhibition. Like they sort of work on the slogan because a lot of it's kind of like a one-liner. There's a lot of sort of slogan-y stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
The
yeah, but-
painting that like destroyed itself right after it was
Yeah.
bought, that had to have come from a comedian.
But it's such a good gag. Such a good gag.
What is that? What is that?
So they were at an auction.
Yeah.
So they're auctioning a Banksy painting, and it's like for $1 million. And the frame is a shredder. And so as they're auctioning, as the gavel comes down, they
Like
remotely
6 million
trigger
or whatever.
this, and it basically kills
Just
half the
shreds
painting.
it. Yeah.
And they managed, they've got the footage of it here. It's like one of the great coups of art. And then the piece, obviously the people were livid because they destroyed the painting, and then it's worth 10 times the amount instantly.
Shredded, yeah.
Yeah, so take a look.
What a dick.
That's hilarious.
And so they didn't know that was going to happen.
No,
No.
they didn't know the frame was
But
like a.
in the Exit Through the Gift Shop, the guy, Mr. Like you want to say Mr. Beast now, but it's not. I forget. He calls himself Mr. something. Mr. Brainwash. The whole documentary is him going like, he was going around seeing it and thinking it was cool, and he was like, but I think I could just do this. And he did, and made tons of money selling. And then it's almost like L. Ron Hubbard, like thought like made it was like a bit at first, and then starts believing his own shit.
Yeah,
Because
have
by
you-
the end
have
of the
you ever seen those
documentary,
letters?
he's like, I'm actually like, it's like, don't talk to me right now. I need to get in my headspace for my art. And you're like, you said you were doing this as a gag. And L. Ron Hubbard, they always said like,
Have you seen the letters?
Mm-mm.
They've got they're online. So they were when they used to write, right? So they were writing the original kind of sci-fi. It was L. Ron Hubbard. What's he called? Isimoff.
Isaac
and-
Asimov.
Isaac Asimov and
Wow, what
Philip
a
K.
pull.
Dick.
My stepfather
Those-
was big into
those-
sci-fi.
Oh,
those
I
three-
never knew it was pronounced Isimoff.
Isomov? I don't know.
I know you might be right.
It's just pronounced with confidence with me. But those three guys used to write to each other like all the time, and they'd kind of be like a couple of comics. Oh, we only got paid $200. Oh, we got paid $1 a word by this magazine, but this other magazine's paying $1.50. You should write for them, and they like do a round robin letters to it was their equivalent of being on a WhatsApp chain.
Yeah.
And there's one of them where L. Ron Hubbard goes, well, if we want to make money, we should declare ourselves a religion. And then once we declare ourselves a religion, then they can't tax us. And then, they don't hear from him for 2 years. And he comes back on a boat going, you never guess what, fellas?
Yeah.
You never guess what? I'm in charge. There's thetons.
Yeah. But that's what I said. They said
Amazing.
it when he said it, though. They said by the, years later when the guys who knew him before that said, they'd go to him like, it's like, dude, this is crazy. I can't believe there's like a religion started. And he'd be like, what do you mean you can't believe it? Like, your body's infected with, like, he started just to go, like, yeah, he just lived it. Even though he made it up. He acknowledged that he made it up and just started, like, acting like he believed it.
But it doesn't seem that any cult documentary they watch, it doesn't seem any crazier. It seems less crazy than actual religions.
That's a terrifying thing for you to say.
But it's about.
It doesn't seem that different.
It's the time frame, isn't it?
Right.
Christianity, when you break it down, is about a benevolent zombie death cult.
Right.
Sure.
I hope that benevolent zombie comes back to
Right,
help us.
right.
He's dead, but he's super chill.
Right.
He's like a nice zombie. That's Christianity. It's all crazy when you break it down.
But what if Jesus does come back? Do you think he'd dress like you or Jay?
I think Jay.
Yeah, probably baggier stuff.
Yeah, Jay. He'd have, Jesus would come back, have a chain wallet with no.
I'll get some baggier stuff.
I know it's a weird one though, isn't it? Where all these, what's the most recent thing? How old does it have to be before it's like legitimate?
Like Mormonism is considered a cult because it's
it's kind of
still pretty recent.
I've got a theory on this. I was trying to make it work as a bit, but it never worked as a bit. But I think crazy is a numbers game, right? Everything is crazy until enough people buy into it, right? So when it's a tiny cult and they go, yeah, we believe in this guy that he died and then he came back and he did this thing and his mother was a virgin. It was a crazy story. We believe. If there's 10 guys, you go, you guys are crazy. As soon as there's 100 million, you go, well, no, it's a legitimate belief system. So even with there's politicians that we could all name that you kind of go initially, that's crazy. But if enough people believe it, it's true. Yeah, if enough people believe in it, it becomes.
Well, people turn, especially in America, because religion is kind of dying. People don't raise their kids religion anymore. It's political. Like they take a political side now. Is what religion is now.
Well, it's that thing of like who said it? G.K. Chesterton said, if you don't believe in anything,
Oh,
you'll
yeah.
believe in anything.
You mean GK?
Yeah, G.K. Chesterton.
Tell him I said what's up.
But
I've never heard it pronounced Cheston before, but go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, you go.
But that weird thing of like you don't believe in anything, so like you go. Some politics is like religion, right? So all religion for me is like a proxy for the future. So it's like live well now for a better future. That's what religion is. And a lot of politics, like things like Marxism, like communism, really left-wing stuff, is like by any means necessary because we've got paradise coming.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. So like you go, if you really believe there's paradise at the end of this, it doesn't matter what you have to do to get there. So it's like that. It legitimates a lot of kind of terrible behavior.
I think also religion, like almost what you're saying, Bobby, it's like watered down now a lot because I said the newer like generations look at religion as like, if you ask them, like, you believe in God? And Jesus goes, yeah, Jesus went to church growing up and everything. But it's kind of like background of their mind. Cults tend to be like their lives are surrounded by the cult. And people who are like religious and go like extreme with it, we call them cults anyway. It's the same thing. So it's just how like watered down it gets. I think religion in most part just kind of take it like.
But back in the day, kids didn't. Kids were just home all day with their family, their mom and dad. That's it. So they just believe what. Now kids are on the internet all the time, and all the fucking podcasts and Joe Rogan and all these people talking about breaking every single thing down to its minute aspect of it. Of how the pyramids are made, aliens and all this shit. There's so much more. Yeah, there's so much more information out there for kids that they're not going to believe in some dude who walked across a fucking water, and
But I think I think they don't even question if they believe it. They just go, yeah, that's what they said happened. So we just Christmas and Easter, get some candy for the kids. I think it's mostly like that. But I said cults they don't go on for. Like centuries, really, cults
when I grew
so
up,
much. So it's like that's why I mean, like when you see the cults, that their whole. That's why I said it's different than organized religion, is because every minute of their waking minute is cult.
Yeah, but when I was a kid, Christmas was Jesus' birthday. Like my mom made a cake.
That's what broke
What?
people say.
She had
That's
a
what
cake.
broke people tell you.
I swear to God.
Are you kidding me?
She had a cake every year. It said "Happy Birthday, Jesus"
I've
on
never heard of this.
it. Yeah, it was a fucking nightmare.
Happy
we got
birthday,
yelled at.
white Jesus.
I mean,
of
I knew
course.
that
With abs.
supposedly it was on the 25th, but of course that's a conspiracy.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys.
Yeah.
Oh, when's that?
Everything's a
Don't Armenians say
conspiracy.
Jesus was born a different day?
January 6th.
Oh, that's
He was
the
actually
biggie.
born in the summer.
That's probably right.
He's a
Orthodox,
Leo.
Orthodox
Okay.
Christmas, yeah, that's a good celebration. It's a weird thing though. It's like when you try. I think the big mistake with religion is, and you're about to say this. I know Vatican II. That was the mistake.
What do you mean?
Okay, so
You just
Vatican
said-
II.
I'm gonna
Vatican
say
II
Yes.
is when
I'm going to say this. What the fuck are you talking
Because-
about?
Is that a
all
space
right,
station?
So what they did, Vatican II on the PlayStation. So what they did.
You ever talk to me like that again, by the way?
What they did a couple hundred years ago, they said, look, everything's in Latin, and the people can't understand it, right? So the Protestants came along and they said, we're going to make everything, we're going to translate it into your language, and you can have your relationship with God and connect. You don't have to go through us anymore. You don't have to go through a church because it's corrupt. And the Catholics kind of were influenced by that, and they went Vatican II, so they translated it into the local languages. But the whole point of religion is kind of the majesty. It's meant to be like walking in nature. When you go into a church, you're meant to just have a sense of awe. But when you actually break it down and kind of go all left brain on it and just make it a list, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you're not meant to look at it like that. You're meant to look at the gestalt. You're meant to look at the whole thing.
But I think religion is a moral compass for people. Like, it's a control. It's like so people don't fuck up your neighbor's wife, so you don't steal. It's a set of rules for
Yeah.
the masses.
Yeah, I think it's
that
from a
people,
time
like,
when people
needed.
there wasn't like you know, you have to govern like a mass of people and
Yeah.
have a few people be in charge. You have to go, it's not me. You have to listen to me because if not, like way worse.
Because
things are
back in
gonna
the day, you could just kill your neighbor and nothing happened. You know, so
you
it
say
was-
back in the day, I'd say the 70s. Before, how did they ever catch a murderer?
before DNA and stuff.
Before DNA, before
cameras.
CCTV, before all the. I think you could murder pretty much with impunity in the 70s.
Yeah, detective
Oh, I
shows were
think
way
so.
better back then too.
That's
Now
why the
it's
peop-
just like, show me the footage. That's him.
Yeah.
Where does he
the
live?
doorbell camera. Okay.
Oh,
we
now
got him.
it's just they go on Facebook and the guy's told everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the amount of guys that are getting like the amount of guys that Googled how to bury my wife,
Yes.
and they went back and saw the Google search
Yeah,
because
Rich
Right,
Voss was
right.
on it.
there's a theory. Someone had a great theory. There was a wonderful book called Everybody Lies, and it's about like big data and the idea that everyone has a confessor, like a priest they go to see every week, and they tell everything.
Right.
And it's Google.
Yeah.
No one lies to Google. So they used to guess at how many guys were gay, right? And then they did surveys and said it's all. No one's lying to Google about what porn they're looking at. So they just looked at big data and said, and they know exactly. It's a great book because it's got all of these kind of weird things that you go, how racist are people really? Well, we can tell you because we can see what they looked at.
Wow.
Well, that's
I'm
why
gay and
data is so
racist.
important, and that's why it's our biggest commodity. But then, how are you supposed to use it for yourself? Like, there's no way to
Punchup.live.
Bunch of live.
Slash
You get,
Robert Kelly.
you get your own data.
You get your data.
What do you mean?
Forget it. It was an inside joke.
It's a web site Bobby's on, and
Yeah, you get all the
get
you
your own
get
data.
the information.